I am going to start today the chapter of current and electricity. See, in electrostatic we have learnt about stationary charges and their consequence in the vicinity. In this chapter we shall study about the changes in motion. Consider two charged conductors A and B at different potentials mounted on insulating stands. Let A at higher potential than B. Therefore the electric charge starts flowing from A to B through the metal wire connecting them. The flow of charge continues till they attain the same potential. The flow of electric charge constitutes electric current through the conductor. The current continues to flow so long as potential difference exists between the ends of the conducting wire. It can be assimilated as the flow of water from tank P to tank Q in this figure through the pipe connecting them so long as the level of water in P is higher than in Q. Now electric current. What is electric current? Electric current is defined as the rate of flow of charge. Therefore electric current is denoted by capital I, which is equals to limit delta T tends to 0, delta Q is capital here, divided by delta T equals to dq by dt, which is the equation number 1 of the chapter. The SI unit of electric current is coulomb per second or ampere. Now how the ampere is defined? 1 ampere is the current flowing through a conductor is said to be of 1 ampere when the charge is flowing through it at the rate of 1 coulomb per second. Similar units of current are milliamperes and microamperes. 1 milliampere equals to 10 to the power minus 3 amperes and 1 microampere equals to 10 to the power minus 6 ampere. For example, an average lighting carries current of the order of kilos of ampere, whereas current in our nerves is out of order of microamperes. Now direction of current, which is very much important to understand. See, conventional current is due to the flow of positive charge which moves through the conductor from the positive terminal, that is higher potential, to the negative terminal, lower potential of the battery. It is opposite to the direction of the motion of the negative charge carriers, that is free electrons. Now, what is charge carriers? In solid conductors, free electrons move randomly throughout the conductor and hence constitute no current. When a potential difference or PD is applied across the ends of a conductor, that is in bracket, by connecting it across a battery, an electric field is set up in the conductor which points from positive to the negative terminal through the conductor. The free electrons therefore start moving in the directions opposite to that of the field and constitute current in the conductor. Thus the charge carriers of current or current carriers in solid conductors are the free electrons. In case of electrolyte, these are the positive and the negative ions. For example, copper sulfate solution having copper as a positive sign, plus plus, and sulfate as a negative sign, minus minus, are the charge carriers. In the NaCl solution, Na is the positive and Cl is the minus, are the charge carriers. Generally, gases are bad conductors of electricity, but when a very high potential difference is applied across the two electrodes of the discharge tube filled with a gas at very low pressure, they conduct electricity. The electrons and positive ions will be charge carriers. Number 4, in semiconductors, the charge carriers are the holes, positive and electrons. The holes represent the absence of electrons in the valence band, and electrons are negative charge carriers in the conduction band. Now, what causes the flow of current to flow in a conductor? See, in metal, atoms are bonded strongly with each other and occupy fixed position. But the free electrons, in absence of electric field, move in random fashion in different direction with different velocity. Thus, the number of free electrons moving through a cross section in one direction is nearly equal to the number of free electrons crossing it while coming from the opposite direction. Thus, the net flow of charge as well as the net velocity through any cross section will be 0. Hence, no current flows through the conductor. Let U1, U2 and so on Un be the velocity of n free electrons. Therefore, average velocity U equals to U1 plus U2 plus U3 and so on plus Un by capital N equals to 0. N is here, capital N is here, free electrons. Now see the figure to understand. Next topic is very much important, which is to be known. See the drift velocity. Consider a conductor of uniform area of cross section and length small l connected across the battery of capital V volt and negligible internal resistance. This internal resistance we will come to know later on, since battery has got some internal resistance, or any kind of source has got a internal resistance. So here battery has no internal resistance, that is negligible. So see the figure, then I will make you understand. Therefore, electric field setup in the conductor E equals to V upon small l. This is equation number 2 of this chapter, current electricity. Therefore, force experienced by a free electron F equals to small q into capital E, which is equals to minus E into capital E. Therefore, acceleration produced A equals to F by m. We know the formula, F equals to ma. So here A equals to F by m equals to minus E by m. This is equation number 3 of the chapter current electricity. Here small m and small e are the mass or the charge of an electron. Negative sign shows that the electron accelerates in the direction opposite to that of the electric field. As the free electron accelerates, it will, in bracket, in addition to the thermal velocity, bracket close, also gain a velocity in the direction opposite to E. Dotted lines in figures shows the drift of free electrons due to E, capital E. The final velocity of free electrons just before it collides with a positive ion, in bracket atom of the conductor, small v1 equals to u1 plus at1. V equals to u plus at, as you learned in mechanics. We are applying that only when t1 is the time interval between two successive collisions for the accelerating free electron and is called the relaxation time of period of relaxation. Relaxation time or period of relaxation. Similarly, for other free electrons, V2 equals to U2 plus AT2, Vn equals to Un plus Atn. So we will add all this. We will get therefore V1 plus V2 plus so on till plus Vn equals to U1 plus U2 plus so on plus Un in bracket plus A and in bracket T1 plus T2 plus so on till plus Tn. Therefore V1 plus V2 plus so on plus Vn upon N, capital N, which is equals to U1 plus U2 plus so on till plus Un, which is in bracket by capital N, plus A multiplied by in bracket T1 plus T2 plus so on till plus Tn divided by capital N. So or Vd equals to 0 plus Atn, Atn or A tau N. Substituting values of A from equation 3, we get Vd equals to minus EE tau N by M, or Vd equals to minus EV, V is capital, tau N by ml. Here Vd equals to V1 plus V2 plus so on till plus Vn by capital N is the average velocity of the drifting velocity, and Tn equals to T1 plus T2 plus so on till Tn by N is their average period of relaxation. The drift velocity may be defined as the average velocity of free electrons with which they move in a conductor under the influence of the electric field. The drifting of free electrons caused a net flow of charge in the conductor and the current starts flowing in it. Although the charge on an electron is very small, which is equals to minus 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb, and the drift velocity is also very small. It is of the order of 10 to the power minus 5 meter per second. Still a large current can be set up in the conductor. It is due to an extremely large number of free electrons per unit volume in the conductors. Now there is a relationship between electric current and drift velocity. What is that? You have to understand, and I am going to make it clear. Consider a conductor of length small l, an uniform area of cross section capital A connected across a battery. Suppose small Vd is the drift velocity of the free electrons, and L is the current, and I is the current that flows the conductor. Let small l be the number of free electrons per unit volume in the conductor. Therefore, total number of free electrons in the conductor capital N equals to small n into capital A into L. Therefore, total free charge present in the conductor Q equals to capital N into small e, which is equals to small n multiplied by A multiplied by L into E. Sorry, it is not L, actually it is I, where I said L, where E is the charge on an electron. Time taken by an electron to pass through the conductor, T equals to I upon Vd. Therefore, current I equals to dq upon dt, which is Q is here small, T is also small, equals to N into A into I into E by I by Vd. So here I get cancelled. So I equals to N into A into small e into Vd, which is equation number 5 of this chapter. Thus, for a given conductor, I is proportional to Vd. Let there be a system having different types of charge carriers with different number density and moving with different drift velocity. So current constituted by them I equals to capital A in bracket N1 Q1 V1 plus N2 Q2 V2 plus so on. Hence N1 and N2 and so on are their number density, Q1 Q2 and so on are the charges on them, and V1 V2 and so on are their drift velocity. For example, in an electrolyte, the charge carriers are the positive and negative ions. In semiconductors, the charge carriers are the electrons and the holes. Both may have same or different velocities and number densities, but they have equal charges. Now, mobility of charge carriers. Mobility is a physical quantity which measures the ease of drift of charge carriers constituting electric current in a medium. It is defined as the magnitude of drift velocity per unit electric field. Therefore, mobility equals to eta equals to mod Vd upon E. Thus, the SI unit of mobility is meter square per velocity second. It is always positive. We know Vd equals to E small e multiplied by capital E into tau L by M. Therefore, eta equals to Vd upon E, which is equals to E small e multiplied by tau L by small m. This is equation number 5 of this very chapter, current electricity. Now current density, which is denoted by capital J. Current density at a point in a conductor is defined as the current flowing per unit area of cross section taken perpendicular to the current. That is J, capital J equals to capital I by capital A. It is a vector which points along the direction of current, or the electric field vector. Capital E, the SI unit of current density is ammeter per meter square, since I equals to N small m multiplied by capital A multiplied by capital small e, and Vd. Current density J equals to I upon A, so it is equals to Ne Vd. This is equation number 6. Now current density in vector form is represented as J equals to Ne Vd. J over it there is a cross sign, Vd over it there is a cross sign, arrow sign. Here the product Ne represents the carrier charge density, whose SI unit is coulomb per meter cube. For positive charge carriers, Vd is the same direction as E, arrow overhead. Vd also had arrow overhead. Here J overhead is along the same direction as E overhead. E overhead arrow. Hence, we conclude the current density has the same direction as the electric field.